Today, we're going to teach you how to make more money. Our templates will allow you to stand out and charge more for each project you make. It's safe to say that a finished board with a beautiful handle, complex inlay, or valet pockets is worth much more than a regular plain board. These templates will increase your profits after a single use and allow you to efficiently produce a finished product. Here's how to use them. Let's start out with one of our handle templates. Align the template as desired on your board and apply double-sided tape to the template. Peel off the double-sided tape and apply the template to the desired location on the board. We like to put the template as close to the end of the board as possible so you get less waste and you can charge more for a larger board. Don't worry, we'll teach you all about the router bits we use too. It can be intimidating when trying to pick a router bit, but once you start learning about them, it'll become first nature. Fitting the hand router with any router bit, it's important to make sure it is firmly secured. We are starting this project with the Amana 45475-S flush trim bit. Now it's time to check the cutting depth and adjust if needed. I recommend to cut half the depth of your bit or less. The Amana 45475-S cutter is a 1/4 inch, so I recommend no deeper than 1/8 or 3/16 inch. Making sure that your bearing has enough clearance to ride along the edge of the template to prevent your bit from cutting into the acrylic template. Dust collection is always a good idea. This will help keep your job space clean and also helps for removing the shavings and keeping your bit visible while making the pass. Now that I have checked the cutting depth and dust collection, I will start to make the first pass. Again, multiple small passes allows for less stress on the bit and less risk of ruining your project and template. Take your time and make sure your router is flat with the face of the template, allowing for the bearing to ride along the edge of the template. Using a jigsaw, I follow the cut I made with the router, trying to keep the blade about 1/8 inch away from the template, making sure not to damage it. Removing the excess material with the jigsaw allows us to use the router again safely, having minimal material to remove, which is less stress on the router bit. Now we are fitting the Amana 45475 flush trim bit. Always make sure to line up your bits to the reference point when fitting them to your router. The Amana 45475 flush trim bit has a 1/2 inch deep cutter, allowing us to hog out more material in a single pass versus the Amana 45475-S. If you have access to a router table like this, we like to use the Amana 46297 flush trim down cut spiral bit. Using the same method, you want to make sure to check the cutting height of the bit to allow the bearing to ride along the top half of the piece to remove the last bit of material. For the handle hole, if you have access to a drill press or a drill and Forstner bit, it makes this part really easy. Using our spindle sander, we are able to make quick work removing any burns or cutting marks from the edge of the handle. This can also be done by hand or orbital sander. Next, we fit the Amana MRR 112 1/4 inch roundover bit to our router table. This bit cuts a nice roundover into any square edge. For handles, this is our go-to bit. Now that we've completed the handle using our template, let's see how our Valet Tray templates work. First, we use the same 2-sided tape to secure the template to the material. For Valet Trays, we recommend the Amana 45460-S flush trim bit and the Amana 45983 bowl/tray bit, which has a 1/8 radius on the bottom of the cutter, which gives a nice rounded corner detail in the bottom of the pocket. We like to use our router base plate when routing our tray templates, and then we go to our Amana 45460-S bit and we check our cutting depth. To cut the pockets out of our Valet tray, you want to slowly plunge your router into the wood starting at a slight angle and slowly level it out flat. After fitting the Amana 45983 bowl cutting bit, we check the cutting depth again. We plunge again on a slight angle and level out. We recommend making passes going with the grain if possible, and only cutting half the width of the bit when clearing out the material to reduce the stress on the bit. Using a bandsaw, we cut around the template, staying about 1/8 of an inch away from the template to not damage it. Then we go back to our router table, fitted with the Amana 46297 to clean up the outside of the tray. Cutting away as much material as possible makes this step easy. Now we are ready to remove the template and sand and oil this piece. Next up, we're going to show you how to use our inlay templates. These templates can really add some unique looks or customization to serving boards and signs. If your board and work table are both perfectly flat, you can use our two-sided tape to hold down your workpiece. Just like our other templates, we apply double-sided tape to secure our template to the wood. Using the same method to plunge start on an angle and level out to remove all the material using the Amana 45475-S. Using the Amana 47222-S, we are able to clean up the corners for more detail in the template. Carefully using a paint scraper, you can remove your template. Be careful not to pull too hard or you may break it. If you plan on filling the design with epoxy, we use some West systems to coat the design. This step will help prevent any pigment from bleeding into the wood around the void. We use West System epoxy and add beaver dust pigments to fill the design. If you are looking to get a more unique epoxy pattern, we will give it a few stirs as it cures. After the epoxy cures, we start sanding at 80 grit and go all the way up to 220 grit. Take your time while sanding. Don't apply pressure to the sander. Let the weight of the sander and the grit of the paper do the work for you. We lightly sand the live edge, leaving some texture and patterns to give the board visual appeal. After the board is sanded, we apply Rubio Monaco Pure to the board and buff it off using rags and white balls. Let's cover a few key troubleshooting points. Always keep an eye on your bits and bearings for any overheating or damage which could cause kickback and damage your piece or template. Never try to rush cuts and hog out more material than your bit can handle. This will put too much stress on the bit and can cause the bit to fail or cause an injury. Here's an example of minor kickback from rushing a cut. Now it's time to get out in the shop and make some more boards. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you want us to cover in our next video.